Hello, everybody. You know, I really thank you for inviting me into your space. I I look forward to this, and I miss the days of old where groups of people would come to my office in West Orange. They would sit, listen to me. We would interact, and it really made me feel good. Over the years, AccuWeight Loss has proven itself to be everything that I hoped it would be: a vehicle for life change. And the topic I've chosen for tonight is: do you have to deprive yourself in order to achieve success? I love that word, deprive. And what I'd like to do this evening is take just a few minutes to rehash what we need to understand if we're going to go forward. One of the things that I've absolutely learned without any question whatsoever is that AccuWeight Loss is unique, it is different, and if you work the program, it works, and there's no question about it. Thousands and thousands of people have proven that over the years. Now, the big question is, what is the resistance to dieting? If there were no resistance, we would not be talking. We'd simply follow the rules. The rules work. We've promised for over 20 years 15 pounds minimum, only fat, in total health. And thousands of people have done this. So why are we sitting here? And why do I title tonight, do you have to deprive yourself in order to be successful? First, what is the resistance to dieting? And the answer is habit, lifestyle, change, newness, difference. People resist change. In today's climate, everything is about change, and everything is about staying the same. People argue with each other, and they really do not know what they are arguing about. And the reason is they have not clarified in their minds what is it all about. So question number one, I want you to ask yourself, What's going on in my head that says to me, I want to lose weight? Now, I don't think there's one of you out there who knows that if you continue to do what you have been doing, that you're not going to lose weight. And there are all kinds of marketing techniques. And those marketing techniques, in very subtle ways, tell you something that you already know. They may color it differently. They may package it differently. But every single program out there that has to do with weight loss says if you are going to lose weight, change has to occur. Now, some of those programs offer magic. It is incredible magic. Take these pills in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, drink some water, and you'll lose weight. Now, if they worked, why do we constantly see over and over again different products, different formulas, and all of them offer you magic? Close your eyes, visualize yourself as being a person whose body has changed. Take these pills, and when you wake up, everything will have changed. Your body will be what you want it to be, and the magic is very simple. Go into fantasy. Now, simplistically, every single person who is listening to me has a gland in their midbrain, and the name of that gland is the hypothalamus. It's a tiny little gland. It's in your brain. We all have it. And for every single person who is overweight, that gland is not functioning normally. So therefore, the question and answer should be very simple. How do we normalize the functioning of that hypothalamus? For if we do, the weight will come off. Now, isn't it interesting that we call this the bead diet? And the reason we call it the bead diet is, first, we wanted people to clearly understand that it had to do with weight loss, and people certainly connect weight loss with dieting. And when we connect beads to the word diet, I have your attention. Because what do you mean a bead diet? So underneath everything that has to do with the normal process, the weight loss process, there is a hook. And the hook is to get your attention, not to educate you, not to help you understand, but to give you magic. Now, if I say to you, an abnormal functioning hypothalamus, then you understand. Get my hypothalamus to function more normally, and I will lose weight. Sounds easy. But, there I go again. I use the word but. And it's a very interesting word. I love you, but. I'm happy, but. I like living here, but. Did you ever stop to think that the moment you use the word but, you erase everything that went before? Either I'm happy or I'm not. Either I'm dieting or I'm not. Either I love you or I'm not. The moment I use the word but, I qualify everything that I have said. Now, part 2. Do I have to deprive myself in order to achieve success? Well, what does the word deprive mean to you? I can tell you what it means to me. The moment you say you're going to deprive me, you're taking something away from me. Now, what is it that causes this word deprivation to be there? It's very simple. If I continue to do what I've been doing and I don't change what it is that I've been doing, I will not achieve what it is that I say is my goal. So in order for me to lose weight, I need to change. How many of you are happy with change? How many of you are filled with habits, things that you do unconsciously, day after day, year after year, and the moment change occurs in that habit, you get uncomfortable. Now, the interesting thing is habits have to do with lifestyle. They have to do with change, and they have to do with newness. I don't know of anyone who has a habit who will say to me, When I try to change that habit, it makes me uncomfortable. And the reason is habits are old repetitive behaviors that we put in place to give ourselves what we believe to be comfort. Habits are not necessarily good or bad. A habit is a behavior that you have implemented in your life over a long period of time by repeating that behavior, so that your behavior, your lifestyle makes you comfortable, and therefore you repeat it. Along comes Dr. Schwartz and says, if you're going to lose weight, you have to give up your old habit. Now, the moment you hear, I have to give up my old habit, the discomfort filters in. Now, the key here is to understand that what we are talking about is psychological. It's mental. It has thought. It is not good. It is not bad. It is something that you have created over the years in order to get something. Now, as I'm talking to you, one of the first words that comes into my mind is the word tell. Now, many of you see tell as saying something. I'm going to tell you something. And that's close. But in the case that I'm using, a tell is a transmission of something from you to me that tells me that you're locked in. So that, for example, I've often heard people that I know talking about behavior, and they say, and I see it most often with regard to cards, gambling, that person has a tell. Now, what does that mean? It means they have a behavior, and when they exhibit that behavior, they transmit, if you're sensitive and you're watching and you're careful, that tell says to you what they're going to do next or what they're thinking. So that, for example, there's a person, when they have what they think is an excellent hand, go as though they're thinking. But if you'll notice, every single time they think that they do this. Now, I don't know if they're right. I don't know if they're wrong. But if I watch them over a period of time, I learn that whenever they go like this, they think that they have the upper hand and are now trying to manipulate the situation to their advantage. Simple little thing. It's all behavior. Years ago, my office in West Orange was full. Every Thursday night, I had large groups of people coming in to hear me talk about AccuWeight. And all of them came because they heard that there was something special about AccuWeight and it would work for them. And all of that was true. But there was one piece that was always hidden. And that piece had to do with the fact that they needed to accept that if they continued to behave the way they had been behaving, they would not achieve their goal. What was wonderful about it is we also would have people who were doing the program. They were asked questions. The questions had to do with the specifics of the program, what you eat, how you eat, when you eat. And they would say, I do it and it works. And I'm so happy that I'm doing it that I came here today to let you hear from me because it's going to make me feel good if you do what I'm doing and you have the same success that I am having, then I'm doing something wonderful. The word deprivation never showed up. And the reason the word deprivation never showed up is because it's not a real word. Remember, the key to deprivation has to do with habit. You're taking my habit and you are changing it. Because if I continue my habit, you know and I know, as long as you keep that lifestyle the same, you're not going to lose weight. I had a woman this morning saying to me she had a hard time understanding why, and she had read it in a book someplace, that having salmon was healthy. I said to her, you're absolutely right. Salmon is a very healthy food. She says, well, I have salmon once or twice a week. That's healthy. Why am I not losing weight? I was flabbergasted. The woman was telling me exactly what she was thinking. And her thinking is not flawed. salmon is healthy, and eating healthy is good for you. But if it's not part of a regimen, a habit, a behavior, if it's outside of that regimen, it doesn't apply. But it's healthy. Yes. And people who eat salmon, it's good for them. Yes. Well, then why, if I eat salmon, am I not losing weight? Because I'm doing something that's healthy for me. The answer is habit, lifestyle, change, newness, and altering. Hear that word? Altering your habit. I have heard millions of habit stories. Some of those that I love the best come from Alcoholics Anonymous. And the one story that I repeat over and over and over again is the man who gets up in the morning, shaves, showers, gets ready for work, goes out of the house, turns down the street, and trips on the sidewalk. He brushes himself up, he gets up, and he goes on his way. The following morning, he follows the same routine, goes down the street, trips on the sidewalk. This time he hurts himself slightly more than the first time, brushes himself off, and goes on his way. And this continues day after day after day after day. And each time that he trips, the pain is greater. And then, for some reason or other, and it's irrelevant why, he walks out of the house and he walks down a different street. Very simple. His habit was controlling him, and he was controlling the habit. The habit is not necessarily good or bad, depending upon how you look at it. But the habit was not conscious. He was comfortable with doing what he was doing, and because his comfort level was such, until the level of pain got to him, he became aware of the fact that doing what he was doing caused him pain. And what did he do? He walked down a different street. That doesn't mean he didn't get to wherever his goal was after he fell, brushed himself off, and went on his way. It means he did something to reduce the pain that he was feeling to stay comfortable. Now, the hypothalamus is simply a gland. It controls satisfaction. Now, all of us, from the earliest days of our lives, actually the first day of living outside of the womb, all of us are in one way or other comforted by food. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that when you give me food, particularly certain foods, it makes me feel good. There's a magnetism there. There's an attraction there. Because I like to feel good. Doing it makes me feel good. And so I weave it into my habit lifestyle because being comforted makes me feel good. Now, I would like any of you to tell me that when you are comforted, it doesn't feel good. So anytime I want to feel good, I do what will comfort me. It will make me feel good. Will it give me what it is that I want? I have no idea because I don't know what you want. And you haven't said what you want. Now, the moment you say, I want to lose weight, you've made a statement, you said what you want. Now, do you recognize that you've now taken the responsibility of doing something that will comfort you if you do it, or you have to do something else? Because if you continue in your behavior, you'll get comfort, but will you achieve your goal? Now, the key here is very, very simple. The power of food, the comfort that comes from food, the comfort of being nurtured, and all of us, on one level or another, within the first few hours of our lives, when comfort was a feeling that you wanted, I want to be comforted, and food was placed in your mouth, and it comforted you. And for most of us, that power will remain with us throughout our lives. So therefore, food comfort are huge, significant words. How do I get comfort and at the same time achieve my goal? Well, reason number one is very simple. The key is to understand what is deprivation. To deprive, to take away from me. It's an action. It's a feeling. It's palpable. It's real. It's in your head. And you created it on an unconscious level. You were only hours old. How much thought, how much understanding, how much insight could you have had in the first few hours of your life? All you knew is comfort. It felt good. I love that feeling, of feeling good. Now, the reason that it works is because of the fact that somewhere around the 7th month, had you been born, you would have survived. So already there was in place something that I'm going to call a sensing mechanism. And you did not, most of you, get born at that time, but you stayed in the womb being comforted, meaning being totally taken care of, for a longer period of time, usually 2 more months, while you got bigger and stronger and more developed. And you realize on some sensing level that you were being taken care of. It was comforting. You did nothing for yourself. Your mother did everything for you. She breathed for you. She fed you. She nurtured you. She comforted you. She kept you warm. And then between one instant and another, birthing took place. Out you came. Now, if you agree with me, there was some kind of sensing mechanism, then the moment had to be on a sensing level, scary, traumatic, because you went from 100% being cared for to 0. You are now in a position where you, helpless as you were, you still had to take care of yourself. Now, your mother was tired. She had gone through physical labor and It's exhausting. So they washed you, they wrapped you up, and that was comforting because you were in the womb and now you were wrapped up again, so it felt kind of good. And you were put in some place which was, let's say, warm. Your mother took a nap. And when she awakened, because that's how things are done, she wanted to see you. So they brought you back, bundled up, warm. She was more rested. You began to fuss. Now, fussing means that you were not comfortable, or why would you fuss? Your mother read that in some way and took either a breast or a bottle, held you close and warm, and fed you. Food and comfort and warmth and safety all came together. How can something like that not make an impression? It marks all of us. And you've heard the expression over the years. They are trying to climb back into the womb. Now, do expressions like that come out of the air, or are they repeated time and time again because it is a belief on some level that speaks very loudly? Now, here's what's important. And this is what you have to hear. If you feel deprived, then you have not been honest with yourself. Nothing doing weight loss, nothing has been taken away except your old pattern of behavior. The thing that's unconscious and makes you comfortable. So if you feel deprived, what was taken away from you is easily fixed. You know many ways how to comfort yourself. And if you sat here right now and I gave you pencil and paper, you could write down all of the things that you could do right now to make yourself feel better. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Let's move from the physical to the psychological. Let's understand that this infant who had no real knowledge of anything connected comfort and safety and warmth And the power of that was indelibly imprinted. But the fact that it was indelibly printed doesn't mean you can not achieve it differently. And that's where the psychological comes in. And until you are ready to accept change in your life that you can control, to reteach yourself, to train yourself, to give you new habits which give you the comfort, we're not going to make very much progress. The reason I sit here and talk to you is because all of those years of being a psychologist and social worker taught me that unconscious behaviors are habits, and they were put in place over a long period of time because it made us feel good. But they are unconscious. And to make them conscious, you have to acknowledge that. And once you acknowledge it, we can then do things to literally change the overall quality of your life. And that deprivation is simply another word for doing it differently, and doing it differently makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, if you're afraid of discomfort, then stay overweight. Stay with high blood pressure. Stay with whatever it is. And there are many magic things out there that you can believe. If you stick with me and follow the path that you create, you'll understand your own tell. You'll understand how doing that made you feel comfortable, but deprived you, meaning it took away what you really wanted. So part of question number one is, why do you want to lose weight? And question number two, do you recognize that the word change does not mean deprivation? It means doing it differently. It puts you back in charge. It makes you the boss. And if followed through, it has the real possibility of changing your entire life. I'm going to take some time now to answer some questions. And Here is the challenge. What is it about you that you can't email or phone and ask me questions? Why do we keep it a secret? If you're overweight, are you the only person who knows that you're overweight? I doubt it. And if all those people know you're overweight, what is the guilt? What is the shame? And that's judging yourself in saying, you know, I am overweight. It's not good for me because A, B, C, D, E. And I'm going to change. And I am going to take charge. And I will achieve my goal. Questions. I need glasses. If I miss the hour to massage my beads, do I wait until the next hour or can I massage the bead within the odd hour? First and foremost, you cannot massage the beads too much. You can massage them too little, but you cannot massage them too much. The massage of the beads signals this gland we talked about, the hypothalamus, and helps it to feel satisfied, satiation. So therefore, you have from, let's say your beads are due at 6 o'clock. You have from 5:30 to 6:30 to massage those beads and get the same effect. Next question. Maybe I got to keep the glasses on. How much diet soda can I drink? Now, the key here is not how much diet soda can I drink. It's why are you drinking the diet soda? What's in the diet soda? Because diet soda in and of itself will not negatively affect. A simple example, when you drink water, it is pure. When you drink soda, it's no longer pure. It has additives in it. And all additives have an impact. Number two, the darker the color of the liquid you drink, the less hydrating it is because your body needs to take out whatever it is that colors the liquid. In doing so, water is used, and so the body tends to become dehydrated. And that's like planting something and checking on a regular basis by digging around to see if anything's happening other than watering and feeding it. Now, if you just water and feed it, it will grow. If you play around, I can't predict what's going to happen. As far as I am concerned, I like diet soda. I like its flavor. And I also drink water because I like the flavor. It makes me feel good. And I also drink water to make sure I do not become dehydrated. And to add one other piece, drinking a lot of water at one time is not as good as drinking a little bit of water often. Is it okay when I'm on vacation, I eat after 6 the whole week? We have what we call vacation mode. We accept the fact that if we go on vacation mode, we are not going to lose as much if we stayed with the program. Therefore, the key is not eating after 6. It's having an insight and understanding of vacation mode, which you work out with your consultant, and accept the fact that you are adding in vacation, but are continuing to lose weight. I will be flying next week. Will the beads set the detector off at the airport? The answer is no. The beads will not set off the detector. It's as simple as that. The answer is no. There is no problem. Will I see a difference in my body within a month? I would be exceptionally astonished if you stick with the program for 1 month. And one of the things I tell people to do all the time, take your camera. First day in, take a full face. Take a profile. It's personal. It's there. And now, every 2 weeks or every week, do it a second time, a third time, and a fourth time. The results, if you are doing weight loss the way it's prescribed, the results are exciting, they're personal, and seeing the difference is the bottom line.